Here we are, welcome back. BTS Summer Cup. A little EU CIS tournament with one qualifier spot for the Summit 9. And this is Phase 1. There are two phases. Two teams from Phase 1 move on to Phase 2, and then one team moves on to the Summit 9. So we're into this game 2. No Bounty Hunter takes game 1. We're in game 2. I'm here with Mo Farah. And we've got Marana Winter Wyvern for No Bounty Hunter, and 20-minute AFK less. Go Beastmaster Wisp.
Yeah, I like the... Obviously, Saneko's going to first pick Io whenever it's offered to him, even though the hero's been nerfed, I'm pretty sure. He really likes that hero. It doesn't matter which team he's been on. He's always enjoyed it. And I actually really like the Winter Wyvern pickup up against the Io. If you ever relocate in, you can just get caught by that Winter's Curse. We talked about how certain heroes are so good. What was the hero they picked last game against the Io that was good in small vicinities? Can't remember what it was now. But yeah, the Winter Wyvern's very good. Morana's also very good. I think when you have second pick at the moment, you have to pick a core in the first phase that's very good, being versatile in where it goes in the laning stage. I think that's why we've been so much Bloodseeker, so much Morana, so that it means you can just choose where to put it in which lane later on, and then you can pick that last hero in the draft to just win you the game. But obviously then the Beastmaster gets picked up by Saneko Stack, so they have the IO Beastmaster combo, really strong laning stage. And they look to be drafting around this really strong laning stage again with the heroes they have so far, even with the Warlock too.
Yeah, Warlock, nice sustaining hero for the draft, and you know, with that heal, always nice. They've got the relocate to work with. Their team fight looks pretty good. Their pickoff potential as well. I mean, could we see like a Storm come out for 20-minute?
I mean, the way they're going to play is what's going to happen is the Wisp will play with the Beastmaster at the start of the game, in the laning stage, so they can pressure the lane together. And then as it gets towards that mid game, the Beastmaster is going to be playing by himself and setting up the relocates with the Raw. So you really want someone to play with the Wisp this game at the moment. Things like this are the Storm, like you said. I think another one's OD is another good option. What other heroes are good with the Wisp? I mean, loads of heroes are good with the Wisp in that sense, though. In terms of just as long as they get boosted attacks, something like a Luna's pretty good as well. Luna would allow them to ramp up their push potential with the Beastmaster too.
Yeah, the Luna too. It gives them good tether Ags prospects.
That's true, yeah. I think they'll probably pick the Luna now, now that they've seen the PL as well. The Glaives are so good at bouncing around between the illusions. And they'll probably hit this timing during the mid-game, where the PL isn't massively strong, but the Luna does a lot of spread damage. So the illusions aren't massively tanky, and they do die relatively quickly to the Glaives. And the thing with the Luna is they might actually be able to take objectives when they win fights this time as well, instead of having Bloodseeker Zeus as your two cores. That's the dream.
That's what you dream about.
Something like a Gyro can be an option as well, but that hero's fallen off in popularity so much, especially because the flat cannon talent got taken away.
We used
it's
to
really
see him
not that strong.
Ban picked every game. Just actually ridiculous, and now you just don't see him at all.
Yeah, the hero got nerfed so much because of that flat cannon talent getting taken away. It made the hero so viable, but not so much anymore. You really need those extra few attacks to dish out your damage.
How much damage did that take away?
It was an extra 3 attacks. So it went from 6 attacks to 9 attacks before. And the 6 attacks feels like it's just not enough in the middle of these like really chaotic fights. They actually picked the Quap. Okay, so they're still yet to pick their position 1.
It's pretty mobile, their lineup, to be honest. You know, you're going to get I would say you get either, what, a Shadow Blade or a Blink on the Beastmaster? And then you've got Relocate to work with, Blink already there, into the hero on Queen of Pain.
They can play the map so fast with this Queen of Pain, like up the tempo massively, and there's not a huge amount of lockdown on No Bounty Hunter at the moment. They're kind of reliant at the moment on a Winter's Curse into an arrow to be able to kill this Queen of Pain. And it's also very good against the Tusk when you have this mobile mid hero. When you're playing Tusk, you really want to be able to move between the side lane and the mid lane and have some kill potential there, but when you're against the Quaps, you can just blink over the ice shards, and there's not very much kill potential, which kind of forces the Tusk to stay in one of the side lanes the whole game, which is really not what he wants to be doing.
I'm surprised they went to the Winter Wyvern first, because when you're thinking about going Mirana, usually you set it up with like a Naga. You know, you get the ensnare, you've got the song, it's a good reset for you, it's a very good hero to work with, you know, with the minus armor as well. I'm surprised the Winter Wyvern was the choice. Again, I just think Naga's a pretty good hero.
It's okay, but in the laning stage, they'll probably put the Mirana with the Tusk. We've been seeing a lot more of Mirana offlane anyway. And it's kind of the same when you have the shards, in a sense. If you time it properly, if you trap them in the shards and hit them with the arrow afterwards, they don't really have much of a place to go when the arrow is coming towards them. Do they think the Mirana's an offlaner, or do they think it's going to be position 1 or 2 on Seneko stack? That's the question. Because this last ban out here, I personally would say it's probably going to be a Mirana offlane.
Do we see another Sven? Possibly.
Possibly. It's okay with the Wisp. It does help. The Wisp does really help amp his farm up with the overcharge. It's a possibility, I would say. I just really like the Luna. I think that would really suit around their draft off really well with their push potential as well. It kind of gives them a bit of everything that they need. They have good nuke damage from the Quap. They have good team fight with the Warlock and the Luna. They have good push potential with the Beastmaster and the Luna. They have good sustain from the Wisp and the Warlock. I think the Void ban's pretty good by no Bounty Hunter though as well. In the same sense that the Quap could just blink over the shards, the Void would have just been able to time walk over too.
10 seconds remaining.
And the Chrono is also very good with the Warlock.
5 seconds remaining.
So getting into this extra time here. See what they want to do for these last 30 seconds. We'll see who's...
The other thing with the Luna is as well, though, that if you get hit, someone gets hit by Winter's Curse, the Luna, it's not a huge single target damage hero. They do go for the... See, I feel like this Sven's really bad against the Winter Wyvern. That's my only issue. I feel like it can be kited around really hard. They have the Snowball save as well on the Tusk.
Still, Mike could take your job. I predicted correctly.
God
I
damn.
feel, it's almost the Vega draft that we saw earlier too.
That's true.
5 seconds remaining.
Hopefully this Warlock has a better game than Solon did. That was a bit of an unfortunate one.
Well, he's on the team of the Sven now, so nothing to worry about.
Is Axe banned?
No.
No, it might be a possibility for them. And put them around a mid. Because I feel like they lack a bit of lockdown here, especially when they're playing against this mobile hero and the Queen of Pain.
So is
Doom's still in the pool as well.
Is Wisp going with the Sven? Or is this a
Whisper's
trial?
gonna be with the Beastmaster in the dual off lane. And then Warlock will be with the Sven. Yeah, there you go, there's the Axe. I win that. Okay, I won that round, dude.
You got your job back. Alright, I'll give it to you. You got your job. You get to keep it for a day. See, you know, chat. So Colin Mo tier 6. He makes the perfect guess on X. He's at least tier 3.5. 0.75. 8.
There's no tiers, dude. It's either TI invite or no TI invite.
That is very true. That is 100% true, actually.
That's
it's either the
dream
moon or
for
nothing.
everybody.
What? That's the dream for everybody? Yeah.
Yep.
It's my dream. I mean, my dreams are weird.
Okay, I'm not going to ask you about your dreams. You can keep that to yourself, Pico. God.
I will.
I like this Axe against the Sven in the laning stage, though. It makes it a little bit more difficult for the Sven to just smack away at that offlaner when he can just trade back with the counter helix and the Battle Hunger. We saw earlier in the game that Vega played where they had this Sven with the Leshrac where they had super good kill potential. They don't really have that same kill potential with the Warlock. So it's kind of more of a passive lane than the Sven game we saw before. And let's see if the Bone 7 Axe can take advantage of that. He had a great game on the clock last time. See if he can do it again.
We'll have to see. Here we go. Ready to go?
Here we go, baby. I'm just really excited to see how quickly the Seneko stack can play this map. Like you said, they can get the blink and the Shadow Blade on the Beastmaster. This Quap can just blink around. Io's going to be relocating in the Sven, left, right, and centre. They just have to be very careful about this Winter Wyvern, and I think he's going to be the main target for these for the Beastmaster and the Queen of Pain to pick off at the start of the fight. Maybe even the Sven as well when he gets his blink online. It's a big threat for them. Even the Axe as well, especially, with the call on top of the relocate too.
I really like this 20-minute AFK lineup. Quite a bit, actually. I like the, you know, the relocate with the Sven and having, you know, what you're looking to do is that typical combo, the Primal Roar into, like, the relocate, into the Stormhammer and all that. And then you've got maybe a Quap coming in because Quap has mobility. If you're forced to team fight, you've got, you know, the Warlock Golem, possibly double Golem if you've got Ag's Tether.
The thing I like about this draft is as well, they have different ways to initiate other than the Warlock Golem. They can initiate with the Roar from the Beastmaster, or they can initiate with the Sun from the Stormhammer. You really want to be holding onto that Golem for a counter initiation as much as you can, especially when the Axe blinks in. I think that's the main reason you would use the Golem there. It's a decent Fatal Bonds game as well when you're up against this Axe and the Wyvern. If you Fatal Bond somebody up that's being healed by the Wyvern, they take so much damage.
Just getting away, tethering is Seneko. Yeah, I do really, I don't know, I like this where they don't really rely on just the Chaotic Offering. You get a blink on the Sven eventually, maybe you get a Shadow Blade on the Beastmaster instead of the blink, or you get the blink. You have blink on Queen of Pain. You've got a lot of options, it feels like.
Yeah. And this Sven's probably just going to get a decent amount of farm up here in this top lane. They're actually tri-laning again on No Bounty Hunter with this Tusk and the Wyvern. I don't think you can do this when you have an Axe in the off lane. I mean, I know Bone 7's a god, but you have to try and at least enable him a little bit. Because otherwise he's just going to die to this Warlock and Sven. Like, he's having real trouble up there already.
And there's the Stormhammer already. Whee! Almost
He's going to have to pop a salve.
Yeah, already.
Why is Seneko tethered to a melee creep?
Give him the benefits, you know? Creep deserves it.
Heal it up to.
Creep deserves just as much as a hero. Goes into the front lines.
Wyvern actually might be in trouble here in the spot lane. He's, oh, good pull up.
Yeah, Keem with the nice body blocks. Flo's still going for it, though. He's got the axes ready to throw, and not going to be enough damage at level 1, but the wild axe is thrown and almost gets it. But, again, it's Tusk and Winter Wyvern, both very low.
You really don't want to tri-lane around this PL as well. I feel like PL is one of those carries that really needs levels to be able to maximise his farm potential and come online. And when you're tri-laning around him, he's really not going to get those. Quap's going to win this mid matchup as well. Just, I think he's a better mid hero in terms of last hit potential. You know, he has the extra damage over the Mirana. The attack animation's pretty good on the Quap as well.
Out of the two supports that are over bottom, who you send in top, though, if you were the side of No Bounty Hunters? They going for the snowball very deep on us. Seneko looking for the first blood. Wild axes are thrown. Seneko running. He's still tethered, but the tether will break. The Wisp will pop. And Seneko drops for first blood.
Good first blood by them. When you're tri-laning, you have to find these kills. If you don't, then the game's just over, I feel. I know it's a bit early to call it, but even so. Look at this Warlock as well, just harassing Bone 7 behind his own tower.
The Shadow Word as well as the Fatal Bonds is just like, he's making sure that Bone 7 struggles with this lane.
Like, look at the difference in XP between the Sven and the PL already. Sven's over a level ahead of the PL just because they're tri-laning around him. It's pretty rough.
The only thing I could say is, you know, the Sven last time we saw him, obviously this was in a different series, this was in the Vegas series, as for Flo for just a moment, Splinter Blast, is the Sven didn't really get involved until much later. And maybe that's an opportunity for Phantom Lancer to kind of farm up a little bit more. The arrow misses on Magical with the leap in. Forces the blink away.
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say. The problem is, though, that the Sven farms so much quicker than the PL, so he comes online earlier. So if they enable the Sven at the same rate as the PL, the Sven's going to benefit so much more from this. Bone Seven's just skipping the creep wave as well, just going to TP back to base. Means he misses out on as little XP as possible.
And actually, a couple of those creeps were denied, though, or making it even harder for the Axe. Like, yeah, you're going to creep cut. I'm going to make it difficult. I'm still going to deny. I'm going to make this a hard game for you. Look at the difference, too, in CS.
This is really hurting the PL. I mean, they have to try lane around him to protect him.
Might be dead. The tether breaks, and Akeem, he grabs the kill. The Wild Axes do land, and it looked like Akeem might be able to walk away from that one, but Flo does end up trading, so we end up trading one for one.
PL's level 3.5, Sven's level 5.5. This is not looking good for them. I think they're probably one of the only teams that I see that are tri-laning just every single game. Maybe they think something different about the game than I do, but it's just interesting to see how different teams value each patch, like, and how they think they can win the game. I just think PL's in a group of heroes with things like Luna, Gyrocopter, Drow Ranger as well, where they have to get levels to come online and farm their quickest. If something like a Spectre doesn't care about levels as much, PL definitely does.
Yeah, and PL about 75% of the way towards that level 4, but still very tough for him. And okay, Arctic Burn, and we'll slow him up to grab that bounty rune. All right, Flash
might be in trouble
with the trickery. No way to stop this TP. The damage is
top lane, Bone
close,
7,
but not enough. And Bone 7 in a little bit of trouble. The Shadow Word is out on him as well as the Fatal Bonds. One more shot would get the kill, but there's the snowball, slows him up. Got the Battle Hunger out on Arc, but
Shadow Word
7 so low. Oh, survives with 16 health. Whew.
That is the first Sven ulti usage though as well, so at least he's not using that to farm some stacks or anything. They're actually not stacking the big camp at all yet, but I'm sure they'll be stacking to some Ancients in the future. I'm surprised the Wisp or the Beastmaster haven't stacked the Ancients in the bot lane more, just so that the Sven can rotate in and take those at some point.
Stack the Ancients at all for Sven? No. Yeah, usually you see with especially a hero like Sven a lot more stacking, but Seneco's been kind of dead set on staying in this lane, and I think that comes from the fact that it was a tri-lane. You know, you can't leave the Beastmaster by himself if he's up against the tri-lane.
They do want to pressure the lane, but at the same time, you know, going back once every minute isn't going to do that much harm, especially when the lane's pushed back towards your tower.
Okay.
Akim?
Yeah, the shards block them out, but you got nowhere to go with that one. You do Snowball, trying to run away. The Shadow Word, Fatal Bonds, and there's the Stormhammer to get that kill.
Okay, well, good try. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes. You try and make the flashy plays with the ice shards, you know, push you up the hills, down the hills, and you unfortunately get caught in.
Yeah, he was trying for the little bit of finesse there, but not gonna find it. And whoa, Wild Axe is throwing it. Faye, they're trying to turn it. They've got Flash and Akeem here. Seneko no longer tethered. He might be in a little bit of trouble as Faye continues on forward. The snowball, woo, intercepting the tether of Seneko.
There's so many like American football jokes I can make right now. God damn. Interception.
Yeah, we like our interceptions. Tackle, touchdown. These are all phrases you'll hear if you're in America during the months of August to February.
It's all about golazo, dude, in South American football.
Seneko blocked out with these shards. Tether again comes through, but there's the snowball to stun him up again. Seneko low. There's the Spirit Lance and another kill on Seneko, as well as the tip. He is all 4 deaths right now. Seneko is 0-4. So he is,
I'll be honest though, look at the CS chart.
Yeah, Sven up there, 80 and 12. Double of the quad.
Do you think they're worried that their Whisper's dying in that bot lane? Because
yeah,
if Sven's sitting on 82 CS, I don't think they're worried at all. And this is the problem when you don't pressure the enemy safely. They just have absolute free reign over this game. He's level 9 already on this Sven. 3 levels ahead of the PL now. And when that Sven gets like an item, he might go for SMY, might go for Mask of Echo Saber, which we see sometimes. What's he got coming on the courier? treads. But yeah, when that item comes out, I'd like to see him rotate to that safe lane and just absolutely bully the PL out of the game.
He's got the Treads Mask of Madness, and again, this is another case of just Sven farming until he's ready. And that's okay. I think they're okay with that. Nope, over bottom for just a moment. The Moonlight Shadow comes out. There's the blink forward from Magical, trying to get this kill on Flesh. They've got the Sentry Ward. Wild Axis comes through. They'll get the kill, and Magical, he's looking. He's peeking. That was... blind Sonic Wave? I mean, there was an attempt. There was an attempt at Gory, but now the arrow hits. They've got the Starstorm and the 5th death for Seneko. Oh, man. I feel so bad for the Ball of Energy.
Honestly, that Sonic Wave at the start of the game is so important because it's basically almost a guaranteed kill every time. And if you're just throwing it because you want to make a flashy play for a YouTube highlight reel, I feel like you've accidentally misused that one.
Really Stormhammer comes out. 3 heroes up top. There's the Shadow Word with Seneko helping Arc. One more shot again, but the Shadow Word has a lot more duration this time than the last. And they do finally get the kill on Bone 7, which that's his first death. So, you know, a majority of it all, he kind of stayed up here and didn't really die. He did his job.
I feel like Bone 7 is a similar player to Bambo in that sense, where they managed to push their offlane to the absolute limits in what they can get. And the fact he's almost level 7 on the Axe, he's actually doing pretty well considering he was left up here by himself.
You know, all things considered, doing a relatively good job going for the Vanguard, of course, and not too far off of it, to be quite honest. So, 5-4, Seneko. Just in the jungle. He was getting low again. Got nervous. Could have been the 6th death. We never know. But for the most part, I mean, despite the 5 deaths, like, Seneko's still playing relatively well. He's been there when he needs to be there. And yeah, he ends up dying or he gets picked off, but if you're the only one dying in these fights as a Wisp, you're fine. You're okay with it.
He's probably the least important hero in this point of the game before he hits level 6. So if he's dying, they literally do not care. He's absolutely fine with that. As long as he's enabling his course, so the Sven's farming well, Quop's doing okay. Beastmaster's probably not doing as well as they hoped, but he got tri-lanes, so, you know, that happens sometimes. Absolutely fine.
Oh, God,
actually, he changed it to net worth. He's actually, you know, sitting just as much as the Morana in net worth on this Beastmaster. So
yeah,
he's not even doing that badly.
Doing a decent job in Arc. I mean, just look at the man farm. Look at how far ahead he is on the PL, about 1100. He's had such a good, you know, an easy time farming, just continuing to farm. As we take a look over bottom, they've got the ice shards. They might finally find someone other than Seneko. And Faye will finally get the kill on the Flow. And now the KDA spread around, but coming around the back, Arc and Velhor smoked up. They have level 6 on this Warlock. They're ready to go in with a Chaotic Offering. They can lead that way.
Bone 7 has a blink on this Axe, so if they initiate a fight now and he TP's bot, this could be really bad.
Let's see where Axe is going. He's still in the well. He does TP over bottom. There's the Moonlight Shadow. They throw the Storm Hammer again. Bone 7 coming over with the Battle Hunger as well as the call that's going to lock down Velhor. He's not going to be able to get off this Chaotic Offering. The dunk is a little bit too early, and now they've got the Winter's Curse. That locks in the Sven as well as the Beastmaster. Splinter Blast comes out. Hits on Flow. Magicals come in with Seneko with the relocate. Flash trying to get away, but to give up 1 for 1, where Axe gets a kill, I think you'd be okay with that, but Flash doesn't even die just yet. He's got the Arctic Burn. He blinks in with a call. His Bone 7. And now, finally, Flash dies, as does Arise over mid. But if they could get Arc, this is definitely worth it for the side of No Bounty Hunter. The Primal Roar comes out on the Tusk. Flow gets the kill there. They're still trying to work on Arc. Velhor's here with the Chaotic Offering on the 2. Oh, boy. Arc is still alive. He's got the Shadow Word. They'll take out Bone 7. Now they look over for Faye, but he's TPing out. And 20-minute AFK less. They, by the skin of their teeth, get away with something here.
Oh, Bone 7 was just about to call. He accidentally blinked into where the Golem was coming in, and that completely changed the fight. The fact he couldn't get that second call off there. What a good Golem there by the Warlock. Great play by Velhor. Velhor. How do you even say that name?
Velhor, I think.
Velhor. It's Velhor. All right.
We'll be corrected in chat eventually. Come on.
I'm sure no chat don't point out mistakes. Never.
Never.
Doesn't happen.
Always positive, 24/7, 100%. Social media is always great.
It's just smiley faces.
I love when we see situations. I don't know if it's just me. Probably just me. I bet you the other team hates it. But when you see like a Warlock die early in the fight, and he's so like not farmed or not high level that he comes back while the fight is still happening, TP's back into the fight and throws a chaotic offering like that. I always find that a little bit funny in my own mind. I know that's kind of weird, but like Warlock came in at just the right moment, and he had died to start that fight off.
Yeah. And I like that he's maxed out his Fatal Bonds by level 7 as well. It's a really good Fatal Bonds game. There's no reason not to max it out. He'll probably max out his Upheaval next as well before putting any more points in Shadow Word. Very good Upheaval game. Kiting these heroes around like the PL, like the Axe. Obviously, he does have the Phantom Rush to get out, but even so.
So Sven now with the Echo Saber. Mask Madness Echo Saber treads.
Ooh.
Nice job here.
Bone 7 actually just stole a triple stack of Ancients there with the Wyvern Heal to help him as well. If you didn't know, when you Wyvern Heal the Axe, he can still spin. Doesn't take any damage. Very valuable.
Yeah, he's got the Blink Dagger, as we saw in the last fight. And we'll see him going to Treads, then the Blade Mail. Arise, someone we haven't really been focusing on, I'd say that much, but he's still going for Maelstrom, has a bottle with a double damage in it with Phase Boots. Like, he just doesn't seem that important at the moment.
He has to get this Maelstrom online as soon as he can on Arise on this Mirana, just so he can help scale his farm, try and get as big as he can. Because at the moment, the PL's having a great time, but the PL's just almost completely countered by the Sven at this point in the game, so...
Bone 7 in a lot of trouble. The Moonlight Shadow comes out, but Magical able to get that kill onto Bone 7. They look over for Magical. They'll find him. There's the Winter's Curse. They're going to try and set up an arrow with this. It'll land. Arcs here with Seneko. The Tusk goes with the Snowball across 3 heroes. That's huge because they get themselves at least one. There's going to be the save on Hakim. Flash trying to run away from Arc. Is the damage there from Arise? He's got the double damage. He'll get the kill. Down he goes, and Arc falls. Hakim does finally hit the deck. That is a big kill rotation to kill off that Sven.
Absolutely great rotation, and they couldn't get the Golem off, unfortunately. I think the PL defuse will cut through the Warlock's mana too quickly. So it's pretty unfortunate. They really need to try and fight around this Warlock Golem. In the same sense, they had to try and fight around the Chrono last game. It's the big AoE teamfight spell.
Marana trying to run. Tuska's come in, but the chase is not on.
Arise tried to give the bottle over to Hakim, but I think it was in his backpack, so when you TP in and there's still a cooldown, it doesn't refill the bottle. Unfortunately.
The more you know.
This PL, though, he's getting to a stage where he is becoming a massive problem. That's Sven Death. Sven's one of those heroes that he really wants to build on momentum and find kills very quickly. You know, get that early farm, push his potential before the enemy team can get to that late game situation where he doesn't do as great in like the 35 minutes plus.
Primal Roar out on the Flash. And can't heal himself up. Faye looking maybe to go in on Flow, but no Winter Wyvern. Your whole team's not really here. I don't know if you really want to go in on that. I'm wondering about Arise because now he's switched off of the Maelstrom and he's gone to the Lincoln Sphere. You know, the Maelstrom is very, I feel like, important to the way this Mirana game is going to play out. As, oops, Snowball.
Yeah, good blink away though. The Yule's pickup is really good on the Quap as well. If you can precast the Yules on the Axe before he blinks to call.
Blink forward, Seneko and R coming in. There's the Stormhammer very deep onto the Mirana, so maybe not the target you want to initiate on, but you've got Faye as well as Flash coming in. The Moonlight Shadow is used, and I would say initiations from both teams are botched.
So that's what I was going to say as well. If you precast the Yules on the Axe before he blinks into call, you actually send him up in the air before he can get the call off. Good pickup by Quap, and it's obviously very good as well just for the mana regen. You can set up some kills with the Sonic Wave as well.
So showing himself over top, Flash nearby, the rest of the team sitting back. Oh, another hero on the side. It's the Axe sitting back, or excuse me, the Tusk. Rise mid and Axe over in the jungle. So Axe is looking for the Blade Mail. You've got Arise still looking for the Lincoln Sphere. Do you like the Lincoln Sphere over the choice of the Maelstrom?
I mean, the Lincoln Sphere is very good against the Raw, good against the Sven stun as well. It does stop out a lot of ways of Arise from dying this game. I think Maelstrom's obviously the more greedy choice to try and help push his farm towards a faster rate. But if he wants to be safe and get the Lincolns first, it's going to really help him going into the mid game in terms of not dying. You see Flow here as well.
Rise, and they've got the Primal Roar. And now there's the Relocate right on top. They'll get the kill into Arise. Akeem coming through. Snowball hits onto two of these heroes. Arc now no longer tethered, but there comes back the tether. Seneko trying to get out in time will finally leave. Flow should fall. So they get at least one. That was almost a scary moment for Arc. Could have been left behind.
Yeah, I feel like that is the way we said they would play, though. They would go around with the Beastmaster, with the Shadow Blade, get the Relocating with the Sven, find these kills, but it just took a little bit too long, it felt like. They don't really have the huge amount of burst damage that we usually see from the Sven. Because the Mirana got the leap off just before they came in. Just allowed them to come in, protect the Beastmaster. They could TP to the Shrine, TP to that tier 2 mid.
Actually gets hit with the Stormhammer, but the Winter's Curse is right there. His Flash is nearby. They'll kill off Seneko. Now they look over at Arc. Not a lot of mana here for this Winter Wyvern to slow up Arc, and he's able to just walk out. As Faye probably not wanting to go into that fight anyway, sitting a little bit low. He'll be healed up by the Winter Wyvern, and will be back on his way.
Unfortunately, that's the problem with the Sven against the Winter Wyvern, though, isn't it? The Wisp is very susceptible to when he's in tether range of the Sven. So just being picked off by that curse.
So how's this Queen of Pain doing? 2-0 Talismans, Yules, Treads, 1,300 gold. Nothing too crazy on Magical. I mean, the Yules is nice. Do we see the Veil next for Queen of Pain?
Got it.
Yeah, just help increase her burst damage. Gives her a bit of armor, gives her some stats, gives her a bit of everything. It's a good choice. Bone Sevens looks like he's setting up for something top. Just blinks into the creep wave.
Queens it up very quick. Woof! Arrow skims Flow, doesn't hit him. He ends up still alive and starting to pressure this top tier 1 is going to be this No Bounty Hunter team, but they've got the Primal Roar as well as the Chaotic Offering. They throw everything at Faye.
Oh, the Yules!
And the Yules does stop Bone 7 from getting that call off. He pops the Blade Mail. The call doesn't land on anybody. Now the Stormhammer stops the TP. He's going to fall as well. And very sloppy from the side of No Bounty Hunter.
That kill on PL is probably the most well-executed gank we've seen today. That was just perfect. Absolutely perfect. Just using that Raw, just into the burst damage. The Fatal Bonds on all the illusions meant the Sonic Wave did more damage as well. Fantastic bit of play. And every kill they get on PL this game is so important, with him being the main position one. The Axe and Mirana aren't farming massively well, so if they can just keep this PL down, he's the main problem in this game now for Seneko Stuck.
Hey, he's got the Manta style. He's going for the Shadow Blade next. I mean, he's sitting top of the net worth just ahead of the Sven, who has slowed down. Is it Sven slowing down significantly, or is it PL's farm getting amped up?
I feel like the Sven's kind of been focusing more on making sure he's getting involved in fights. He hasn't really been farming the jungle a massive amount. Obviously he has been, but not as much as we see from some Svens. They kind of go AFK for like that 10-15 minute period, come out the jungle with about 3 items, and then just go around two-shotting people. I think he has to try and get involved in fights this game. You don't just want to try and let the PL farm as well at the same time.
Now he's got that BKB, so 10-second BKB for the next fight is going to be quite nice as Flo went for the Shadow Blade. I figured he'd go for the Shadow Blade if we were going to see like a Blink Dagger on the Sven. So they've got the Blink initiation from Arc. They've got the Blink there from the Queen of Pain. Magical. And then now they've got Shadow Blade from Beastmaster. So
I'm not sure about this Blink he has queued up as well, though. I don't think you want the Blink and the Shadow Blade. I mean, you can if you just want the raw initiation. Obviously, the Shadow Blade is very good at letting you pass by the Observer Wards without getting detected as well. And then just allowing you to get the right angle for the Blink afterwards. It's very heavy on initiation if you go for both of them.
Yeah,
sometimes we see more utility.
Velhorn.
Oh.
Nice little kill there
Sad
for
time.
Akeem, and Arise is still
Well, no.
working on this Lincolns. Magical getting that kill on Flash.
Just a roar into a Sonic Wave in the bot lane. Pretty easy kill.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
There is a long cooldown on the Sonic Wave just for a Wyvern kill. And he's actually going for the Orchid. Okay, yeah. And I think this is pretty good as well. If you can pick off some of these more squishy supports on the backline, something like the Wyvern. Like we said, he's probably the most important hero that they bring down first. So if the Quap complete past everybody, Orchid up the Wyvern and bring him down relatively quickly with the burst damage, I think that's the way to go this game. Just to allow the Sven and Wyvern, the Sven and the Wisp to be able to freely move around these fights without being worried too much about the Winter's Curse coming out.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So Faye gonna push the top tier 1, and again, 20-minute AFK has a net worth lead. And they're gonna look to defend. Or at least Magical is gonna come up here.
Ooh.
But
They smoked
know
up,
where
I think he got
is.
spotted out.
Yeah, so Bone 7. Ooh.
Dire's top tower
But
is
this
under
could
attack. Radiant
this could turn around.
They know to be
The
careful up here in this
invisibility,
top
they
lane.
look for Faye. Can they find him?
Oh.
He's all by himself. This should be an easy one. No tier 1. Doppelganger, Chaotic Offering. That'll come through. They look over at Faye. They've got the Storm Hammer as well as the Dust. Your Shadow Amulet has no power here. And
I think
they clean up Faye again.
they need to try and translate this into a tier 2 or a Roche now, I would say. It looks like they're going to head over to the Roche pit. They still have the God Strength going for a little while, but just about to run out.
Dire's
Maybe they're just happy with the
middle
PL
tower
kill
is
for
under
now. But like we said, every time they get a PL kill this game, that's the highest, priority target for them in terms of pickoffs.
And they're doing a very good job right now of starting to contain Faye.
Looks like he's actually going Silver Edge on the PL as well. Very good against the Sven in terms of stopping him from cleaving away through your illusions. That's a good answer to it.
What is his flow? Bone 7. Oop, sorry. Camera went below. Look over at Team. There's the Primal Roar. Tusk in a lot of trouble, and gets hit by the Thunderclap. He's not dead just yet. Now they've got the Snowball, but Ark's coming in with the Storm Hammer, the Echo Saber, and the last hit to come through. The Blade Mail's popped by Bone 7. Gets in the fray of this, but I mean, everybody's here to kill him, and all 5 heroes for the side of AFK are going to get this kill on a Bone 7. Magical gets it. There's the Yules onto the Mirana. Upheaval to try and slow him down. The Leap Storm Hammer, and a double kill for Flow. 3 dead on the side of No Bounty Hunter.
At least they got the top tier 1, so they got something in return, even though the fight didn't go well for them. And at least the PL didn't die this time, so that's something. But again, clutching at straws there a little bit. Not a good fight at all. The Mirana and the Axe are falling further behind the other cores in this game.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Falling
attack.
very behind this Queen of Pain, and then you blink, aggressive blink from Magical. Got the Orchid.
Radiant's middle
Wyvern
tower
tries for the
is
deny in the mid tier 1, but a little bit missed time. I like this ward that was just pinged out there, just to the left of the Roche pit, on the Radiant side, the Dire ward, I mean. That's not an easy ward to find. If you see where they put their sentry on the Radiant side, they put it more as if it would be on top of that ledge where the steps are. Or it could have been on the top of that hill where the other sentry ward is. So this observer was
For just
perfect.
a moment. The Walrus Punch, the Primal Roar comes out through onto the Tusk. Flash looking to set up something as the Winter's Curse comes out onto the Wisp. Sven has enough time to finally get around the Ice Shards and kill him off. Flow with no mana here. Arc with the BKB. That's going to be popping with the Storm Hammer coming through onto this Axe. Healed up by the Winter Wyvern. Magical blinking away on the top end of this fight. Flash finally taken out. They look over at Bone 7 who's going to blink away. Look for this Queen of Pain with the Yules. And ooh, they kill off Bone 7. They don't even commit the Chaotic Offering to this fight. And Arc, he's grabbing himself a double kill, and really technically a triple if you count him killing off Seneko.
That was the 10-second BKB on the Sven though. The Warlock might be in trouble. Oh.
There's the Chaotic Offering, and now Faye falls again, dead for 70 seconds, and they'll find the Walrus Punch to finally kill off Magical. That's a lot of gold going the way of Akeem, and I do believe that Faye would have been happy with that.
That's a free Blink Dagger on the Tusk because of that kill. Pretty good. which is really going to help with this these Sven and Beastmaster initiations. If he can just hold his position in the backline, blink in, snowball save somebody, kind of just waste those initiations in the first place. Flo looks like he's trying to set up for top lane here on the Mirana. He does have a Lincoln's, so kind of just can't initiate by himself. Needs a +1.
Stormhammer breaks the Lincolns. Flo comes in. They've got the Spirit, not the Spirit Barrel, so the Solar Crest. Leaping, weaving, trying, arise. He's out.
3 leaps.
Balanced here.
Fair and balanced.
The frog wants what the frog wants. The frog wants 3 leaps.
I mean, if you're forcing the Mirage to use all 3 leaps there, then, you know, whatever. That Lincoln's pickup has helped her a lot, though, in terms of just freely being able to push out these side lanes, not worrying too much about getting ganked. Obviously, there is still a chance that she can die, but it's a lot safer with this Lincoln Sphere that she has.
What is she going for now? Now into the Maelstrom. Is it a little bit too late, though? Is the Lincolns that important? Like, obviously, it shows there that the Lincolns was important. Stops him from most likely dying. But,
oh, back in. Almost caught the wall. And Bone 7 might be dead bot lane as well.
Yeah, bottom, but nope. Winter's Curse, nicely thrown. Look for the kill. It sets up the call as well. And now the Starstorm hits. The BKB's going to be popped by Arc. And now you got to start to run. The Yule's magical. Oh, the Sonic Wave! He's a baller! Magical with the double kill. They also kill off Flash. It looked like Queen of Pain was dead for sure.
That was a super good turnaround. That looked so bad when the Io got Winter's Curse and then the heal came out and the axe to keep him alive. But that Queen of Pain blinked just into the 180 Sonic Wave. God, what a player.
Jesus, the 180 no scope.
It just reminds me of that video of DJ playing Nyx, you know, where he does the 360 before he impales. So big.
Was that a double or a triple kill? I believe it was a double, right?
Yeah, Magical
almost an opportunity to just be like, oh baby, a triple. Just that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry everybody who just had to hear that. I apologize. I hereby announce my retirement. Ooh, snowball.
Oh.
Link. Oh, TP
Yours.
away.
Oh, unfortunate. And again, Wisp has this tether bonus now for the axe. So what's going to happen is if he... Oh, Warlock caught out position. Yep. Looks like he was about to go on a warding mission, but...
Oh, but here comes this...
Oh!
No. Sven with God Strength. Blink, stun, Mask of Madness. You're basically dead. He's also got the Orchid, too.
I can't say anything this game before another kill happens.
And then Flow over bottom trying to TP out, but the short-range arrow is there to get the kill. Arise is going to grab it, then over mid. Seneko drops to Flash. I think that was, what, Winter's Curse again?
Yeah, the Wisp just tethers to him, and the Wyvern's like, okay, that's fine. I'll just get the Wisp killed while the God Strength's on. Yeah, he has the Aghanim Scepter bonus from the level 15 talent on the Wisp. Again, there's some really good options this game. With the Sven, you can give the AoE God Strength, so everybody gets more damage. The Queen of Pain's very good, reducing the cooldown on the Sonic Wave. Lots of options for them. And the Sven's even got an Orchid now as well, so the lockdown for the heroes like the Wyvern and things. So whoever gets the jump on the Wyvern, they can easily burst them down now.
So, Faye, he's going for the heart. And Sentry Ward, that's going to spot Faye. They'll find the Stormhammer as well as the Orchid. Another Sentry Ward placed down. Here comes Magical. Faye really desperately trying to get out. The Doppelganger, nicely done to avoid that Chaotic Offering. They don't actually find anything out of that. Surprisingly enough.
I'm not sure what the plan was there for the Golem. They didn't really have much follow-up for that. So even if they do drop the Golem and hit him, then how are they going to follow that one up? Because the Beastmaster's dead. Not sure about that one. It happens, though. It happens.
Get a little bit overzealous, and you throw the Chaotic Offering. I don't like this. Bone 7, we just saw this happen to you, and it's going to happen again. Bone 7 gets caught for a moment. The Fatal Bond's onto him, and yeah, you're gone again, Bone 7. I'm sorry to be so rude. I very much apologize, but we literally just happened to you 2 seconds ago. Sonic Wave out on a Flash, trying to run away, but everybody's here. The Winter's Curse before he goes down. I mean,
Wisp!
that's something.
I thought it might have just been enough to kill off the Sven, but he was super tanky. And with the overcharge coming through from the Wisp, it was enough to keep him alive. Here we go. Whenever you have a Beastmaster on your team with a Solar Crest and a Beast Aura, the Roche is very easy to take.
Yeah, not like last game where nobody wanted to really finish off the Roche. Buyback from Bone 7. Oh, Akeem! Akeem! He snatches the Aegis, comes on in. There's the snowball. Are you kidding me, Akeem? Now here comes Faye. 20-minute AFK have been caught out with their pants down, and now they finally get a kill. The Aegis will be popped. They lose the Beastmaster as well as Seneko. Akeem with the shards trying to find Vel, who are not going to get the call off in time. Whew! Akeem!
Akeem is such a playmaker for this team as well. People saw that Earth Spirit got banned out again in the first phase this game too. Again, similar sort of thing. He's... What a player.
Oh my god!
That's such a risky play as well. The risk reward of that play is so high, and the fact he pulls that off, it's probably kept them in the game, because if they'd have got that Roche on, they'd probably given it to the Quap. Like, the game suddenly becomes so hard for no bounty.
Wait, they're unpausing without the Warlock. What? First of all, did you see what they just said there? They said, sorry, pause, Tusk lag. Bullshit! He just pulled off a playmaker play. I'm calling you out. There's no chance. There's just no chance.
Yeah, Akin was doing that with 5 seconds delay, guys. He just knew what was going to happen in the future.
Jesus Christ. That was amazing. I love it. I love it.
It looked like they just weren't expecting that at all as well. I think they thought they were going to get a free Roche. And you can see they just don't have any vision around the pit, so they had no idea it was coming. Absolutely no idea. They had the Hawk next to the secret shot, but just wasn't in the right place.
Damn, that was... Whew. I'm glad they paused. I needed a breath after that one. That one was... It was a beauty. That was a beauty.
So how do... No bounty hunter, they get the Aegis Snatch, which is fine. But they need to come back into this game still. They have to try and keep this PL farm and get to the late game stage. Because the Sven is still doing so much damage in these fights. You know, he's the highest net worth here in the game. He's blowing everybody up with this Bloodthorn. The PL has to save the Manta for these Orchids and the Bloodthorn from the Quap and the Sven respectively. It feels like, more than anything, we haven't really felt the effect of the Golem in a little while from the Warlock. Kind of been not having too much effect. So they need to try and play around this big team fight spell more, I would say, on the Seneko stack.
They do get themselves a tier 2 tower. I mean, this kind of slows down a little bit of the objective progression that 20-minute AFK were finding. You know, they grab that Aegis. You know, that's probably a tier 2, maybe a high ground attempt of some sort.
Yeah, they definitely would have been able to go high ground there, or at least try. Oh, great Yules on the
attempt again. There's the Yules, Blade Mail, Pop Arrow, thinking about it. Now they've got the Snowball, and a little bit of trouble is going to be this Queen of Pain who forced to buy that, or pop that BKB on the back lines, though. Here comes Ark. He's got the God Strength as well as the Stormhammer, Flash, Akeem. They're both gone.
Yeah,
BKB is popped, but...
Good recognition by Ark that he blinks onto the backline and gets the Wyvern at the same time they go on the Tusk. Beastmaster's already setting up bot lane. The PL's used his Orchid already.
Ooh, Primal Roar. This is a problem, as they're going to lose Faye, and after everything kind of went their way for a moment, they give up 3 kind of unnecessary kills.
Seneko stack are playing the map so well. And we talked about this, how they can move around the map so quickly with the relocate. They're using their TPs fantastically as well. The blinks in from the Quap. I feel like that was a bit of a greedy Orchid usage from the PL, but it didn't really make a difference anyway. He just wanted to push the lane out with his illusions. And look, they're already hunting for more. And this is the difference between this game and last game. The difference in objective taking. They get these kills, they can actually move on to objectives and help, like, improve their game chances of winning.
Might be able to force the buyback of Faye if they continue to push. We'll see how they're willing to hold here for No Bounty Hunter if they do want to end up going in with the buyback from Faye. But the Chaotic Offering comes down after the blink, as well as the call comes out from Bone 7. The Stormhammer is out. Winter Wyvern trying to keep Bone 7 alive. The heal is there, but it's not enough. And meanwhile, everybody just kind of dies, as that was the Agh's Chaotic Offering. And with that, Mirana buys back. Faye doesn't. This is going to be a tier 3, maybe more. I mean, they immediately just clean up a key.
Radiant's middle barracks are Radiant's middle.
The damage from the Sven is unreal
They'll go
now.
straight tier 4s.
Everyone has the god strength from the Sven as well because he was tethered while when he used it. So the damage coming out on the racks there was absolutely huge. And again, I want to say a great play by Flo there. He realises that Wyvern's the key target, blinks on the backline, roars up the Wyvern, and I think that's 3 fights in a row now where the Winter's Curse just haven't been able to come out. And that's the reason they're taking these fights so well.
That was tier 4 taken, and Faye refused to buy back there. I mean, is that the play where you just hold your buyback like that?
On who? On Bone 7?
No, Faye holds onto the buyback the entire time, and I mean, that gave up a tier 4. I mean, it was probably the game if he dies again, if he buys back, but
yeah,
it was almost the game regardless.
Like a set of racks at this point isn't a massive deal. They can come back from that. 2 sets is a bit harder. But, you know, they're all alive again now. They can just reset. And you see the Beastmaster setting up for a Keem top. They're ready for the relocate.
Scan comes out the wrong way.
Look at the Sven and the Wisp. They were just standing there for like 5 seconds waiting to relocate in.
Radiant are scanning.
So, oh boy.
One night, twice the damage.
That is
And they find.
very bad as the double damage is available for this Sven, and they're just gonna walk up. They're gonna look for a Primal Roar. The blink away. Flo, not finding either.
No bounty hunter can't afford to get picked off here anymore. As soon as one person gets picked off and it turns into a 4 versus 5, these fights become 10 times harder. It's really difficult. They could even just wait for the second Roche if they really wanted to on the Seneko stack, but I think they feel confident that they're far ahead and they can take these fights, especially with this DD on the Sven.
Level 25 has the Bloodthorn, has the double damage as well as you know, the tether.
Interesting talent choice on the Sven as well. He actually went for the extra stun duration instead of the 40 God Strength. So prioritising the lockdown over the burst damage, which is not something we see a lot of the time in this late game situation.
It could be that he knows he's strong enough already, he's shredding through these heroes, and why not keep him close longer?
That's true. Especially against heroes like PL. That can be annoying to lock down. The extra stun duration is very valuable this game. Because they don't have a huge amount of lockdown as it is. It's kind of just the raw.
Is this a game where Faye goes for the Doppelganger cooldown?
Bot lane.
Ooh, bottom, Moonlight Shadow. Ooh, boy, bad camera work. There's the Storm Hammer, and now they'll get the kill. Arc kills off Arise.
That's a dieback as well on Arise on the Marana. So here's the 4v5 we were talking about. Great play by the Warlock. In the mid lane, dodges out the sentry by double backing on himself.
Oh boy, Faye. Nice Doppelganger, but still silence up. The Primal Roar comes out into the Winter Wyvern. They'll get the kill there. Dead for 54 seconds. Has buyback. Flash will immediately use it, and now the BKB comes out from the Queen of Pain. Faye just continuing to try and run away. He's invis once again. The Chaotic Offering is going to be thrown down onto Bone 7. He's cleaned up, dead for 63 seconds without the buyback. Magical does find himself the Tusk, gets the silence. The rest of the team coming forward. Flash is here looking for the Winter's Curse, but it's not really that effective. The rest of the team's on the other side of the cliff where they're not attacking Magical. The Sonic Wave will be thrown out. Doppelganger again. Flash, he just bought back, but he's going to be dead once more. Dead for 65 seconds with no buyback, and back to the high ground. 1-minute AFK come.
That was really unfortunate for the Wyvern. He precast the Winter's Curse on the Quap, who, just as he used it, blinked forward so he was by himself and didn't get hit by anybody. Otherwise, the Quap would have died there to the Sven.
So I'm telling you,
I mean, they're just trying to throw their bodies on the line to try and take fights. But if this Winter's Curse doesn't come off and get hit, hit more than one person, it's so difficult to take the fights.
Go for the tier 4s. Don't even go for Mega Creeps. God Strength used. There's the Primal Roar onto Faye. He's gone. Buys back immediately. Ancient exposed. Getting ripped to shreds. A people used in the BKB from Arc is going to be enough time for them to clean up the Ancient and take game 2.
No messing around by the Sven there at the end. Just goes for the win. I mean, that was a very convincing win this game. Much more than the last one. And I think they understood that as soon as they could pick heroes that could take objectives, that the game was so much easier for them. And when you pick this Beastmaster in the first phase with the Wisp, it doesn't matter what cores you pick, your push potential just gets amplified so much because you have that inner Beast Aura. Even your Roche potential as well, because he builds up that Solar Crest. And yeah, really well played by Snake and Stack. They played that game well.
Yeah, they do a very good job there. I mean, start to finish, it felt like that game was theirs. And it basically was, if you take a look at the graphs. Let's take a look at this Sven's damage.
They just play the map a lot better than No Bounty Hunter. They do that game with the heroes that they have on Snake and Stack. And although that axe last pick we called, and I think it was the right pick, the problem is they don't have any burst damage to follow up after the axe. So when you call somebody, normally what you see is something like a Skywrath, or like a Lena or something like that, where you blow the person up that you call so that it's instantly a 4 versus 5 fight. And you saw every time Bone 7 blinked into that fight, there wasn't any follow-up damage. So they can't kill anybody, and as soon as that cool duration ends, yeah, they're just done. They can't control anybody anymore, unless like an amazing Winter's Curse comes out.
Yeah, so
Well
with
played,
that,
man.
No Bounty Hunter, they got to go back to the drawing boards. 20-minute AFK, they look really good in that game too. We'll see if they can pull it off again. They've brought the series to 3. Win or go home is this game 3. We'll be back with that in just a moment. I'm your caster, BCop, at BCop92 on Twitter. I'm joined here by Mofara, at Mofara Dota on Twitter. Follow us to know when we're casting. And thank you very much for coming to watch Game 3 in just a moment. Thank you very much. We'll be right back.